Today's AskReddit post. What is the worst thing to happen to you during sex? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. I once passed out mid-climax. I didn't eat that day and I just collapsed on her. She thought I straight up died on her. Wasn't too serious but was definitely not fun. I actually know someone who was with a man who died during intercourse. He was an older fellow and I guess his heart couldn't handle it. It ducked her up for a long time. That's ducking terrifying. Doesn't sound like a bad way to go though, Mayo. Yeah, emo, the best way to die is to be old. Ducking young women and suddenly go LOL. I was eating her out when she began to climax. She had her thighs on my shoulders with her legs up. She began squeezing my neck really hard. Not wanting to ruin her orgasm, I kept going until I passed out from her choking me out like that. She thought she killed me. I was only out for like a minute but to her it was like 5. Gagged on my boyfriend's dick mid-deep throat and let out a giant fart. This made me laugh maniacally. Holy duck, man. Reddit has come a long way if the first thought is a gay relationship. When they said holy duck, man, I don't think they were calling the commenter a male. While having car intercourse, had a very nice elderly woman pull over to make sure we were okay. So she didn't join our missed opportunities. How is this not a sub? Because it's spelled wrong. She said, "You're so good at this." Followed that up with much better than Travis and Matt. Who the duck are Travis and Matt? Edit. Thank you to the kind stranger for the award and an honest thanks to you all for making me laugh so hard over a story I try not to think about often. Also, I'm ashamed I never made the crit roll connection. I am Travis and Matt. Gasp. The guy had a sudden pain. One side of his penis and groin turned black and blue. Had to go to the ER. Thought I broke his penis. It was a blood clot that moved there due to what was going on. The erection. Do not take Eliquis if you're not healthy enough for intercordial intercourse. Now I understand. Certainly would have helped prevent the blood clot. I was banging my girl doggy style. Her dog jammed his snout in my crack and started licking my asshole. Closest I ever got to a threesome. Post said worst, not best. I'm howling. I bet the dog was too. God ducking, damn it. I bought some fancy organic lube to try with my boyfriend at the time. We get down to business and my vagina starts stinging a little bit, then a lot, then full on burning. We quickly stop and he says that his bits are feeling a little tingly but not the level I'm on. I grab the lube bottle and take a better look at it. Just says normal, organic, unscented lube. I spend 5 minutes looking all over this damn bottle before I find the problem in the very last listed ingredient, menthol. My vagina continued to burn for the next hour. No. Dear God, why? Same thing happened when my fiance and I tried those ducking fire and ice condoms. Except we were both in pretty significant pain afterwards. I have no idea why they still make those. Who buys them? My BF and I tried the his and hers KY lube. One is warming and the other cooling. I think it was the warming one, I can't quite remember. But one was awful and my vagina and vulva felt like it was on fire for a few minutes even after I washed it off. Oddly enough, whichever one didn't burn like the dickens was amazing. We don't have them anymore, I don't think. So you scorched yourself and just went ahead and tried the other one? You're braver than the Marines. Worst for me physically. Pulling both hamstrings. First one, then the other while compensating. Worst for me mentally. My GF's mom walking in on us. 3 times now. Bonus afterward when I heard her gossiping with a friend about it over the phone. Might just want to let THRGF's mom know ahead of time so she can find a seat before everything starts up. She was sitting on my face, and I rolled my head back right when she came down. My front tooth pierced her about 2 centimeters away from her clitoris. By her urethra. She moaned and drew away for a second, then jumped up to the bathroom. I looked down and saw a significant pool of blood on my chest. I remember the sound of an ear piercing, like rapid fire puncturing, but with my tooth. Jesus Christ. Username checks out. Her little ducking rat dog of a chihuahua snuck in the room while we're ducking and attacked me. You have no idea how fast a man can move when there is a set of tiny evil teeth coming at your junk. Did your junk live to tell the tale? I think it burned up from how fast he was moving. I thought things only burnt up on re-entry. Badumtis. Started farting uncontrollably, in rhythm to my thrusts. Thank God they were dry. My boyfriend let loose with a loud fart during some fancy moves. I knew he was a keeper when we both just died laughing. We've been married a decade now. I guess he just resonated with you. Not me, but a friend of mine blew a brain aneurysm. Dude, that has always been an extremely specific fear of mine. Archer, it can happen anytime. That is why it is so scary. Had my cervix hammered at the wrong angle and bruised it. I almost went to the ER but suffered through after some Dr. Google made me feel like I wasn't going to die. For once, I bled a little but the pain lasted days. For sure was waddling to walk for the first day. Guys never believe it. But too big of a dick is totally a problem. Yup, one bad angle and everybody's upset. It's been 12 years and I'm still not used to his size. Proof that vaginas don't wear out. LOL. I was at a pure romance party and a girl complained about how big her boyfriend was because her cervix just got pounded every time. The rep said to buy one of those rubber tube like things you can use to jack him off with and cut it down to like 2 to 4 inches and have him put it at the base of his thing while having intercourse so he doesn't go in so deep. It really helped her out. So basically just a big rubber washer, LOL. Someone came in my throat and it came out of my nose. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Come in my nose. I hate this. Take my upvote. Anal. She pooped on my dick. I puked on her back. You can't knock on Poop's door and be surprised when he answers. Why don't more people know this? Mayo like that's a turd house, dude. I'm 31M. Turd house is a new word for me. I'm 22F. I'm proud to have birthed these new words to you. Guy I lost my virginity invited me over. We were both in high school. I apparently wasn't over my period yet, so got blood on his dick and he got so mad he kicked me out. I had no car. So his best friend ended up picking me up and driving me home and apologized on his behalf. What an asshole. Sorry you experienced that. Maybe the best friend. Broke my pinky as I was shifting my position during missionary. My girlfriend, wife now, and I both heard it crack, but I was so into it that I finished. Went to the washroom, reset the finger and never even went to the hospital. It healed on its own, but there's still a bit of a crook to the right. We still laugh about it to this day. Did you not feel any pain from it? Not really, and didn't lose my erection either. The pain came after coming. LOL. If you have kids, what do you tell them about how your finger got messed up? I'll give him the old catching a football story. D-bag XBF thought he was a intercourse god cause he was slightly above average size wise. Well, I was not turned on. No lube banned him just trying to get it into my vag. I'm bleeding and telling him to stop. He does. Then just says I'm going to go finish in the bathroom without asking if I'm okay or what's going on. We were exes not long after that. What a cunt. Great descriptor for him. I was getting a hand job from my girl, now ex, and NGL I just fell asleep. I was really tired from the night before, and the hand job wasn't that good either. She noticed when I started snoring. I had an ex who liked for me to finger her ass while I ate her out. One time while doing so I could feel the turds actually working their way out. I quickly stopped. His dog made his way into the room and neither of us realized it because the dog was so quiet. We were changing positions and my foot went off the edge of the bed and the dog bit the duck out of it. This was maybe 2 weeks after having foot surgery. Probably less because I still had stitches in my foot. I cried so hard. It's okay though. The guy explained that he rescued the dog from a dude that used to kick the poop out of him. Poor puppy probably thought he was getting kicked again and just tried to defend himself. These ones about dogs are killing me for some reason. face rolling on the floor laughing. Just like that guy's dog killed her foot. Used to have kind of that roll around intercourse where you drastically change positions and just going at it. We were on the floor and we somehow tipped this heavy ass lamp over and a metal part hit her square in the lip. Busted it pretty decently. We worked at the same place and her excuses for it were terrible. That's all I remember. I'll throw this in. Edit. Also same girl. Going at it. Take her pants off in the pitch black and just chuck them across the room. Hear this unbelievably loud sound of shattered glass. Said duck it. Kept going at it. Found out in the morning it was my roommate's bong. In a million pieces. He just said after I told him, hey, if you're gonna break it, that's the way to do it. At least he was a mad lad about it. I mean, how can you get mad at that? We ended up splitting a cheaper bong to replace it and he bought some designer raw later that he always wanted anyway. Edit. He was a super chill guy. Yeah, his first reaction was damn no bong rip this morning, I gotta go get a wrap, but he thought it was more funny than anything. Halfway through breakup intercourse. Ended on decent terms. There was one thrust way too hard and I got sharp pain. Yelped out in pain and we paused for a second but went back a little gentler. At the end I stood up and my entire torso was sore and sharp pain at the same time. I waited about 30 minutes, sobbing on the floor before I let him take me to the air. 3 hours and a CT scan later. Turns out he ducked me so hard that he burst a cyst on my ovary. TF is breakup intercourse. One time during intercourse the cat decided he needed pets and laid on my chest and stared at my husband. The other pussy wanted attention too, lol. It didn't happen to me. I did it to them. I was on vacation and met a guy I got along with really well. We wound up back at his place. While we were in the middle of things I got a really bad leg cramp, so I started saying, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and he thought I was having an orgasm and kept going. I accidentally kicked him in the face trying to get my legs out from under him. Sorry Sam. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, it feels good, right? Please get off. I'm trying to. I was 19 and my BF went a little too deep and I was hit with blinding pain. Wound up on the floor crying for 30 minutes before we went to the hospital. Turns out I had a bad appendix and it was about to burst. The worst part though was the doctor laughed during the exam and asked if we figured it out during intercourse. Cue me being embarrassed and confused. Finally asked him how he knew it. He said, you have a hickey on each ass cheek. Dead giveaway. With everything going on, I'd forgotten. Someone lost a lip ring eating me out once. He must have unscrewed the ball with his tongue. We found the ring but not the ball. To this day I pray it was in the carpet. Another time during a threesome I had arranged with a married couple, the man left mid-intercourse and didn't return, and so I kinda slowed down with his wife. She was cuddling and chilling with me for a while before I eventually asked if she was gonna go check on him. Then she said we made an arrangement that if one of us leaves the room the other one has to follow. It was basically their safe word signal as they'd never had a threesome before. And she told me this after I had been alone with her for probably like 10 minutes. I never saw them again, but I was very uncomfortable with the bad communication and I hope they worked things out after that. Maybe even with some counseling. Why TF would she not leave with him? I think she was enjoying the situation far more than he was. And with weed and alcohol involved, judgment was maybe a bit lax. Tore my frenulum. Was on top and went to kiss him as he was coming up and cracked my nose on his big ass forehead. It made a pop and I was so sure it broke, but ended up only being sore for a days. He picked on me making Owen Wilson jokes for like 2 days after because I kept freaking out about if it was crooked or not. Ow. My ex-GF got up in the middle of the night and slammed face first into the door. We found out she slightly fractured her nose. She laughed her ass off once the pain calmed down. I had the same reaction too. I went from crying to laughing. But then he looked me in the eye and said wow in an Owen Wilson voice and I ducking lost it and started crying again, LMAO. After I nutted in her, I sat down. She put her vagina in my face. And I said, guess I am eating my own cum. She laughed for a straight 10 minutes. WTF, I actually laughed at that. We were in the middle of it when we both got hit with horrible stomach aches. I was in the middle of asking him to stop when he abruptly bolted toward the only bathroom. Apparently, something we had eaten earlier that day was less than fresh, and due to circumstances of the position we were in, I didn't get to the toilet first and had to wait in the fetal position until it became vacant. It was not a good time. Bonus story, I learned that I was allergic to latex in the worst possible way. Same partner. A couple of years prior to the poo-splosion experience. Young love. This makes me want to get a place with 2 bathrooms just in case I ever have a situation like this. She started shaking and hyperventilating, mumbling the name XXXX over and over. Had no idea what was happening, I just cradled her. Apparently that was her best friend's name that raped her years ago, and we were getting so rough she had a PTSD flashback. We went out for a walk after and ordered pizza. Seriously, I can't stress how awesome you are for this. As someone who has had flashbacks due to a similar experience, a lot of people aren't as understanding and get really offended. I'm not him. How could you think I would do something like that? And it's impossible to explain it to them. You being there for her and being cool about it probably means the world. My ex-girlfriend once threw up on me while we were having intercourse. Apparently, she wasn't feeling well, but still wanted to have intercourse. But while she was on top of me, she got queasy and puked on my chest. I was so shocked I didn't know how to react and struggled to not puke myself out of reflex. She was so embarrassed and immediately got off, tossed on a robe, and ran to the bathroom. I cleaned myself off and went after her to check if she was okay. Although she felt physically better after puking, emotionally was so embarrassed, and it took me some time to convince her I still loved her and found her attractive after that. Immediately got off. Sounds like you found her new fetish. The dog starts licking my balls. At least he didn't try humping you trying to join in on the fun. I could just see him. Oh, we're thrusting? Awesome, I love thrusting. Let's do this. Dog, can I get in on this train? I already love you if it helps. First time getting roadhead was on Christmas Eve driving my girlfriend home. We were on the interstate and it was raining freezing rain. She started and I wasn't going to say no even though it was really dangerous. I stayed in the middle lane going 65 miles per hour slow and steady. As we approached our exit I was getting close to popping, so I decided to skip the exit and go one exit up and backtrack. As we are passing the exit, the car spins out going 180 degrees one way and 200 degrees back. I pull her off my dick and she manages to get her seatbelt back on. I was able to keep us in the center lane mostly, but after the car spun back around we started to drift to the shoulder guardrail. We'd been hydroplaning a while and as we got to the shoulder the car had slowed to about 10 miles per hour and we hit a snowbank. We were both okay. I get out and check the car and there is a small crack in the bumper that I never got fixed and completely forgot about. We get back in the car and I look down and there is cum all over my shirt. Edit. I think it was more like 50 miles per hour. Glad you're okay, but 65 in freezing rain seems fast tbh. It may have been 55 or 50. I can't remember as it was 10 years ago. Hydroplaning is scary poop. Glad you're okay. GF made a silly face while we were making eye contact. I lost my boner. Didn't get to finish. Damn, how silly was her face. She crossed her eyes and did a little derpy smile. A hego. Bro, that shouldn't make you lose your boner. To be fair, I think it was just after, not during. But my less than 6 meters old cat tried to latch onto my nipple. Good old titties. My mom walked in on us. I think we managed to convince her we weren't. We never talked about it. I'm not going to talk about it. Your mom knows. She's not a fool. Just never bring it up and keep a better ear out for car doors. She whispered, "I love you," in my ear. I knew she was lying. Mood went from hilarious to depresso espresso. First time I gave head. My ex didn't warn me before he came, so I spit it out immediately. Always warn a gal. or guy when you're about to bust a nut in their throat, goddamn. LOL. One time my FWB didn't warn me and he literally grabbed my throat and I tried to pull away but he wouldn't let me and I almost choked and spat it out. Luckily I was like, okay, I can just continuously swallow this. There was a lot. Dude, that's not okay. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.